everybody. I wasn't planning on my kids listening to my testimony actually, but it's okay. I was not raised in a Christian home. The question on the purpose of life and the fear of what happens when we die kept me up awake at night. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the Diana Ross song. Do you know where you're going to? Yes. So you guys are the same generation as me. So when I was a troubled 17-year-old with these fears and anxieties, my older sister told me about Jesus and how he's carrying all my burdens on the cross. It was then that I decided to become a Christian. However, no one actually told me what being a Christian really means. I thought Christianity just meant giving 2 hours of my week on Sunday, go to church. So I went to church regularly, but if I had stayed up partying the night before, I would skip church the next day. I had a Bible, but I never read it. I didn't even know where to start. Occasionally, I would join a Bible study group with people I barely knew, but I couldn't remember what was taught, nor did I know how to apply what I learned to my life. I only remember the whole time thinking, please don't ask me to share anything, or that guy sitting opposite me is quite cute. The only time I prayed would be before my exams. Or if I had a crush on a guy, I would pray to God, is he the one? So I had a few friends who were Christians, but none of them read their Bible either, and they were living with their boyfriends or going out drinking. So in my mind, Christians were just like the rest of the world. Either that or they would be very boring people. So I visited a few churches I visited a few churches and decided to settle on a small church that had a short 1-hour weekly services and served free coffee and cookies. I was a poor student after all. When I was 20 and in my second year of medical school in Dublin, Ireland, I roomed in with a Singaporean girl named Laura. I found out quickly that she was a very strong Christian and she loved God very much. Initially, I tried to pretend that I was in perfect spiritual condition and that I too loved Jesus very much. However, after the first time praying together with her, it was evident that I didn't know how to pray and I didn't know much about God. However, she didn't judge me. We cooked and ate together, studied together, did laundry together, and it was through spending so much time with her that I started opening up my life to her. Laura took me under her wings and discipled me. I knew that if I wanted to get serious about God, I had to devote more than just 1 or 2 hours every Sunday to church and to place a greater value on discipleship as being together with fellow Christians. And that discipleship meant more than just going out to eat after church. So Laura invested a lot of time with me and taught me how to pray, how to read my Bible, even how to play the guitar and worship God. She told me about the Lordship of Jesus, and that was the first time, after being a Christian for 3 years, that I've ever heard somebody talk about the Lordship of Jesus. If I want to be a true follower of Jesus, I had to submit every area of my life to God. She lovingly pointed out areas of sin in my life, including a bad relationship that I was in, and how I had a dysfunctional relationship with food and with my body, causing me to be bulimic and anorexic. We were roommates, so I couldn't hide anything from her. She also brought me to this new church plant in Dublin. It was a church plant from South Africa, and it was called Every Nation Dublin. We were the second and third students in the church of about 15 people. The campus pastor appointed a discipler/mentor for me who was a Filipino nurse in her 20s named Cheryl. She and her husband are currently the lead pastors of Every Nation Dublin. Besides spending loads of time with Laura, I met Cheryl regularly and went through the one-to-one purple book, which we also have it here in our church. Yes, and I was always willing to meet up with her because she would always cook me amazing Filipino meals or treat me out to hot chocolate, and I was a poor student after all. So I jumped at every opportunity to meet her. Besides feeding my stomach, she also fed me spiritually. I remember the question in the first chapter on salvation in the one-to-one book. Do you know for sure you will go to heaven when you die? I didn't know for sure. Can you imagine, after 3 years of being a Christian, I still couldn't answer that question. But Cheryl assured me that if I have repented of my sins and trusted in Jesus alone for salvation, that I can be sure that I will go to heaven if I suddenly die tonight or tomorrow. Wow, that set me free from the fear of death. Laura and I invited other students over to our home, and we invested in them the same way she had invested in me. Because of my past struggles with eating disorder and hatred of my body, I would have been able to help several other women who struggled with the same issues. By the time I left Ireland, the student ministry had grown from 3 to 30 students. Thankfully, I was still able to do well in my medical school exams. So after I became a Christian, God was already working on me and slowly transforming me. However, there were still areas of sin in my life that I couldn't overcome on my own. I was frequently depressed and insecure, and sometimes the cloud of oppression was so thick that I couldn't climb out of it on my own. It was only through confiding in my prayer partners, praying together frequently, and allowing them to speak into my life that I was able to overcome and walk a victorious Christian life. In other words, it was through membership in a church that had a strong focus on discipleship that transformed me from a depressed, weak, and worried Christian to a joyful, hopeful, and victorious Christian. So praise God. So now I spend time regularly with Pastor Hope, Thor, Kat, Lita, Bertina, Katie, and others regularly to keep me accountable and to encourage me in my spiritual journey. The Bible says in Proverbs 27, verse 17, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Whenever I am discouraged or need prayer, I know I have them to count on besides my husband Kevin, of course. It is through spending time with these ladies that I am continually encouraged and challenged to grow in my faith and to also encourage other young believers in the same way. So I want to encourage all of you to be discipled and to disciple others. We want to be a church that make disciples who make disciples. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the passage of the armor of God in Ephesians chapter 6. But did you ever notice that there is no armor for the back? And it's because we have to watch one another's backs. We are not meant to walk this spiritual walk alone. We are supposed to walk this spiritual walk with someone. And if you haven't allowed anyone into your life, if you haven't allowed anyone to speak biblical truth to you, or if you find that you are under oppression or can't get the spiritual breakthrough that you need, I encourage you to find someone here at Every Nation Taipei. There are many wonderful men and women of God in this church who will be happy to invest their time and their life in you to help you grow in your faith and to walk alongside you in this spiritual journey. One of the main reasons why Kevin and I decided to join this church when we first moved to Taipei, even though there was no kids' church back then, was because of how much love we felt from everybody around us. Being far away from our families in the US, we found our spiritual family here at church, and it really helped us with our transition here. The men and ladies at this church would willingly spend hours with us and our kids. And I'm amazed that they would spend so much time with my kids for free. On separate occasions, for example, Mark and Kat have taken my 3 boys swimming in the apartment swimming pool, and my friends would ask me in disbelief, like, who are these people? And because they can't believe how much they love my kids. I believe this is what Jesus meant when he said in John chapter 13, a new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. Amen. So doing life with this spiritual family has been so rewarding, and I'm very thankful for this church and this spiritual family. Thank you. Amen.